Do you even know what Christian Girl Autumn is? I keep thinking about it because the weather's getting colder and fall is my favorite season. It's that time of the year where there's all these super comforting desserts like this s'more loaded cone. And I also love it because you get to wear all this warm, comfy clothing. And that's where the story begins. The other day I was shopping with a friend and they were asking me about the way that I dress because lately I've just been wearing t-shirts and shorts every day. It's funny because in college I was known for being very well dressed, and in one year I actually won best dressed for my school. The funniest part about that all is there was one winner, so that means I didn't just beat out all the guys in my school. That means I beat all of the women in my school as well. My friend asked what my style was like, and I realized it was Christian Girl Autumn. It's pretty funny because this past week I got to spend a ton of time in New York City with Joanne for her book release. And as I got to see her interact and see the impact of all of her videos in real life with real people, it just made me so excited for the day that my shop is going to open here in New York City. Do you not realize that you did this? A year ago, I was just an employee at an ice cream place, and next year I will be the owner of an ice cream brand. Without you, none of this would have happened, and you're making my dreams come true. I know I say this all the time, but I am so thankful. When I was a kid, me and my brother used to perfect our method to trick-or-treating. Our goal was always to see if we can get the most candy in the fastest way. So our first step was to get rollerblades, and we'd rollerblade between every house. Then we'd use wide opening shopping bags because they were the easiest to just throw candy in and run. And then every year we'd remember what houses gave out good things and what houses gave out bad things. That way we could save time by skipping all of the bad houses. Maybe that's just a problem with my head, but we really thought into this. How about you? Did you just show up at random houses without a plan? Or did you plan it out like us? Because every year, I'm not a big fan of pumpkin spice. I think it's crazy that some people wait all year for it to come back around. So in honor of all of you pumpkin lovers, we're making a pumpkin loaded cone. We were goofing around and came up with this idea, and I knew I couldn't do it right, so I had Jamal do it for me. We're gonna take our vanilla custard cone and drill a hole in it and then fill that up with pumpkin ice cream. I do find it very odd that I don't think anyone really talked about pumpkin flavored things until a few years ago, and it just feels like a trend, but correct me if I'm wrong. The first time we did this, the pumpkin looked like a perfect pumpkin on top, so we added a little green leaf to it. It didn't look as good the second time, but it still is pretty cool. Even though today I was so excited to try this new idea, but it went horribly wrong. They make loaded cones here, and then you also love whenever I make slushy, so I figured how about we load a cone with a slushy? And of course, we're gonna use blue raspberry, and this is where everything went wrong. It squirted everywhere. I mean everywhere. All over my face, my shirt, my arms, the machine, the cone, everywhere. But in the end, the cone did turn out really cool, and I kind of want to try this again and not cover myself. It's so sad because this is a brand new shirt, and do you remember when I taught you how to work at my job with me, and when we made all those ice cream cakes, and then when I quit my job and then traveled the country working at all these different random places? There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about those days and the videos that we made together. I'm just reminded that before all of that, I had finally thought that I was dreaming big when I thought I'd own a franchise. But you've completely changed my life, and now I get to create the perfect ice cream place for all of us. Because of all that, I just want to say a huge thank you from the ice cream guy, or Dylan the May, or whatever you call me. It's crazy that it's already been over a year. Black cake batter ice cream that is made every year for Halloween. It's made the same way as regular cake batter ice cream. We just add a ton of black food coloring to it when we go to pour it in the machine. You'd think no one would want to eat just regular ice cream with food coloring in it, but this flavor is so popular, it's insane. But a few words of caution: if you do eat a lot of it, it dyes your mouth black. And I'm sure if you've ate this before, you probably have some fun stories to share in the comments. Even though when it comes out of the ice machine, it's a light grayish green color, when it freezes up and gets hard, it'll become the same how you make an ice cream cake. First, you start off with some sweet cream ice cream, and then we're gonna crumble in some Oreos and mix that all together. Then we need to cut out our cake and then cut that in half. We're gonna lay our cake and our ice cream in our pan, then let it freeze in the blast. Once our cake is frozen, we take it out of the pan, and we're gonna cover it in white fluffy frosting and chocolate shavings halfway up the side. Then it's time to top the cake. We're gonna need 3 Oreos, and we're gonna have to cut those in half, and then each half gets dipped in chocolate. Now it's time for us to top the cake. We're gonna do 6 rosettes, and then each rosette gets a half of an Oreo dipped in chocolate. And this is not windshield wiper solution, it is ice cream flavoring. You'd be surprised by how many adults order cotton candy ice cream, but most people just call it the blue one. But you'd be even more surprised by what people mix in. Majority of the time, people get cotton candy ice cream with gummy bears in it. Once we extract all the soft ice cream, we need to tuck it all in so it can take a nice nap in the -20 degree blast. That takes about 4 to 6 hours. Once we put that away, it's time to go make another batch. So we're gonna go grab our cotton candy flavoring, and know that over the last 10 years that I've been working with ice cream, it seems that no one actually eats their waffle cone. We would spend hours all day making waffle cones and then dipping them in chocolate, making them look super pretty, just to take them all out in the trash at the end of the night. I don't know if their eyes are bigger than their stomach or if they just wanted a pretty picture. I really hope that you're different and you eat yours. But when I was a little kid, I was afraid to eat watermelon with seeds in it. It was mainly because this really traumatic episode of the Rugrats, which is a cartoon show about little kids. One of them ate watermelon with seeds in it, and the seed grew into an actual watermelon in their stomach. You're probably shocked because you know how much I absolutely love watermelon, but I want to make nitrogen ice cream all day. We start off with our mixing bowl. We're gonna make some mango sorbet. Now that we have our mix, we're gonna grab our paddle, and then we're gonna connect all this to the machine and then begin turning it on. We're about to make ice cream right in front of your eyes. The mixer is gonna whip up the batter and allow air pockets to form. And when we add the liquid nitrogen, which is negative 328 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 200 degrees Celsius, it allows for little tiny ice crystals to form, which makes a really smooth ice cream. And before you say it, I know that looked like scrambled eggs. We're dressing this mango sorbet up like a mango nata. We're gonna drizzle on some chamoy and then sprinkle on some tahini and then add 2 Takis. Now that we're done, we're gonna hurry up and hand this off to Nick so we can go make another one. I can't believe how much fun this was. I think one of the worst things about working at an ice cream place is being surrounded by food that just doesn't fill you up when you're hungry. But you need to eat something, so you end up eating ice cream and it gives you a sugar headache and then you're irritable. So I started making sure I always packed myself a lunch. Don't forget to chop, fold it all together. In my opinion, do you remember Dunkaroos? They were the little blue packets of kangaroo cookies that you dipped in frosting. Well, this is a Dunkaroos loaded cone. You take a cone of frozen custard and then you load it up with the frosting and then roll it in the crushed up cookies. I always look forward to opening my lunchbox as a little kid and hoping I get some Dunkaroos, but I forgot about them for years. I thought they stopped making them in the early 2000s, but I was wrong. Today is a very special day, so I'm going to tell you a very big secret. Today is Millard's birthday. So the big secret is his real name is actually Millard, but don't tell him I told you. But I need you to do me a big favor and go over to his videos and tell him happy birthday. So say happy birthday, Millard. You would not believe this, but are you the type of person that likes to eat pumpkin pie with your whipped cream? Come on, you know what I'm talking about. The type of person that puts a slice of pie on their plate and then covers the entire thing in whipped cream. Well, if you are, I'd imagine this would be absolutely perfect for you. It's a flurry made with a whole piece of pumpkin pie and a scoop of Biscoff and then frozen custard that you blend all together. I know I need a lot more practice with the machine, but all of this is making me wonder. This is a fall waffle sandwich. If you haven't eaten ice cream with the toaster waffle, you're missing out. I promise this is so good. First, you start off by toasting both of your waffles, and you're gonna fill it up with soft serve. This one is a special fall one, and we're filling it with apple pie filling. So you can even make this at home. All you need is a toaster and some waffles and some ice cream. Once we have our hole drilled into our ice cream, we're gonna go ahead and fill that up with all this apple pie filling. And then don't even worry about closing up the hole because you're just gonna slap that other waffle right on top and squish it all together. But don't worry, we're not stopping there. We're gonna go ahead and roll this all in some graham cracker pie crust crumbs. I genuinely believe that these waffle sandwiches are way better than ice cream cookie sandwiches. I think we're gonna have to make a few of these because we're all gonna wanna try it. For this week's Tiny Tuesday, we're making a tiny Dairy Queen Blizzard. First, we gotta fill up our cup with our soft serve. Then we're gonna add on our toppings. I decided to go with some sprinkles because it was fun. This part is very important. As you step on the plate and it starts spinning, do not impale yourself, but impale the Blizzard. And for the true test, let's see if it flips over. And we made a good Blizzard. Thank you, Miranda, for this genius idea. Do you also find yourself wishing that you could go back and live an old part of your life because it seems so much better? Recently, me and my friends have been going through a lot of big changes, and it's easy to look back at what your life was like in the past and think, wow, that was so much better. It was so much easier. Why did I do this? But the truth really is it wasn't better. It's just right now you're uncomfortable because you're pushing yourself to be different and to change. So instead of spending so much time thinking and wishing that you would have done something different, just do the thing that you should be doing right now. Find joy in the discomfort because when you push yourself to do things that are uncomfortable, that's what causes you to grow and change. I'm excited for this new journey for you, and you're gonna look back and realize that it was worth all of the pain and all the discomfort because it got you to where you actually wanted to be. Are we alone? Or most of us grew up with the internet, so you probably have some crazy stories about how you met your friends online. Depending on your age, it could be a chat room or it could be just Fortnite. Most of mine are from here. At this point, let's make a blue raspberry slushie. I thought making just a regular blue raspberry slushie would be kind of boring, so I wanted to make it my favorite, which is raspberry lemonade. So we're making blue raspberry lemonade slushie. Trust me, the next flavor will be even more amazing, but since you asked, today we're making a grape slush. We're going to start off by freezing our cup and then filling it up with some nice water and then our grape flavoring we borrowed from Dairy Queen and a little bit of simple syrup, and then we're going to squeeze that cup. It looked really black, so I thought I might have used the wrong flavoring, but let's see what Oakley thinks. Is it good?
It tastes like ice a lot.
I thought it was pretty good, but I want to retry making ice cream in here again. What flavor do you want us to make next? Close your eyes and just pretend that you're eating ice and Oreos together. Can you imagine this being good? I didn't, but hey, we're about to do it and it's going to be absolutely delicious. You're going to be surprised. The first step is to fill our cup up with a ton of snow and then drizzle on our flavoring. Then we're going to sprinkle on a bunch of Oreo crumbs and drizzle on some Oreo cream filling. Then it's time to do it all over again with our second layer of snow. I just never imagined eating ice and Oreos would taste good together. I haven't tried the real thing, but maybe that's something that we'll have to do next. Maybe I'll chop up some Oreos and mix them in with some crushed up ice. Now we should clean off the outside of the cup because I made a giant mess with this one. Let's do an experiment. Now I want you to